Hi, good evening. Welcome to another video. John Sinclair TV back again. I forgot to play the intro. Tonight we're going to the match review between Newcastle and Manchester United at St James's Park. What a win for Newcastle. I'm just going to play the intro now if it lets me play the intro.
The folks along the road, just as they were standing. All the lads and lasses there, all the smiling faces, gathered along the Scotswood Road to see the bleeding races. We went to bleeding races.
Oh, it's back through Cortez!
1962 on a summer's afternoon, we took the bus from Bambras and she was heavy laden. Where we went along Collingwood Street, that's on the road to Bladen. Oh, me lads, you should have seen us gunning, passing the folks along the road just as they were standing. All the lads and lasses there, all with smiling faces, gunning along the Scotswood Road to see the Bladen races.
What's going on, people? Welcome back to another video. John Sinclair TV back again, and I've got some Kyle and Rolly giving to you guys.
Evening, John.
Evening, all right.
Champion. Stand by because Kyle's got plenty to see tonight as well. So before we go,
it'd be unusual if he didn't.
Exactly.
Is my headset okay? Is the sound all right with the headset?
Yeah, spot on.
Yeah.
Love it.
I'm going to make a prediction for this show.
Yeah.
It's that I'm going to agree with almost everything Kyle says about the game.
I don't think you will.
Oh, that's a challenge.
No.
I said almost, but I think we're going to agree on most things. So,
one thing I didn't get that I'll get into, but it's all praise today.
Yeah,
that's what I love to hear. Positive moods. So, guys, if you like the video, like what you see, you know exactly what to do. Please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button as well. Also, like the super chat is open, and if you'd like to become a member, it's 99p. Rolly, what else?
Oh, got to share it on the socials.
Thank you. Let's go on to comments as well. Big up to Alan. His first hi to you, mate. Hi to Bobby. Hi to Chairs. Yeah, exactly. The house rules in the place. And hi to the Sabotage, greatest club on earth. What a game, what a win. Exactly, playing the chat as well. We're going to get a breakdown in a bit. Big up to Leslie as well. Hi to you. And hi to Chess and to family. And hi to everyone else as well. So, let's start with you. I'm going to start with Carl today because we already started last time. Carl, give us a little breakdown on yesterday's game after that 2-0 fantastic win against Man U.
One word: perfection. It was the game. It was the performance of the season, in my opinion. I didn't expect it. It was honestly perfect. The desire we have, I think that's what will get us in the top four this season. The desire to win, to get that top four. They showed us, them boys showed us yesterday how much they want top four. It was men versus boys. I remember watching the Man City Liverpool game and thinking it's men versus boys. This, and then watched that game last night, and it was just exactly the same. Different level, mate. Different level. We were outstanding. It was perfection. Everyone was outstanding. Everyone was perfect in every area. Everything. And the control, the touches, the balls through, the pace, the running at people, the communication, everything. The finishing wasn't outstanding. But, we're used to that now, unfortunately, with the two centre mids. But what I love about that is they don't give up. They're happy to miss, and he still gets in them positions. He never give up, and it paid off, and he got his goal. It could have been 4-5, 6-0, and it should have been more than 2-0. What a fantastic game to watch your own team just dominate a full 95 minutes. I think we were 2-0 up, 94 minutes, and we were still attacking. Honestly, they go on about us time wasting. They were time wasting 11 minutes in. We just didn't stop the whole game, and it was just an absolute pleasure to watch it, and to do it against Man United as well. It was just the icing on the cake. Absolutely outstanding, mate.
Absolutely right. I'll go through the comments as well because I'll tell you something. There's lads, still people, in fact, between Newcastle and Man United, there's still fight on social media as well. But excuse me, I've seen a couple of them as well. My God, unbelievable. Hi to Gareth, hope you're okay, mate. Hi to Gary D, hope you're okay. And hi to Tony, good serve win. And Luke Shaw's a salty of his comments saying we lack quality. We've got to speak of that as well, by the way. Evening to Leicester again. And for the good father, evening to you. You have mixed feelings about the result or happy for Newcastle. I'm over the moon. We won. Great team performance. So, the team, I don't know what you're talking about. I think you're on about Macy, mate. Talk to Macy or Reese. And Gav, I'd love to hear that. Carl, keep it a Toon, keep it a post. And all the pies. Eat as much pie as you want, mate, after our win. Hi to you as well. What a game it is. Absolutely right. Rawley, the floor is yours, my guy. Give us a little bit of your breakdown.
What Kyle just said. I can't add much. There's not much more to add to that. The only thing I could add is that if we had scored 5 or 6, it wouldn't have flattered us. We were that much better than them. From the start to the finish. The only other thing that I was pleasantly surprised about was the referee. Not that he was great, but he wasn't falling for all their moaning and theatrics. There's one time when Bruno, the goofy Bruno, went down on the touchline holding his chest, and you see the ref go on, "Get up, you cunt."
And Anthony as well. Anthony as well with Dan Burn. It's embarrassing, isn't it? It's absolutely pathetic, mate.
I mean, their whole performance was embarrassing for them. And it's normally when they start gathering around the ref, it sways them, but it didn't yet. He stayed strong. It wasn't great. It wasn't great. I'm not saying it's like an 8 out of 10, but I mean, but he didn't let them get in his head, which was good. And they're just moaning all the time because they couldn't take the ass whipping they were getting. Say we could have been 3-0 up at half time, and that wouldn't have flattered us. As Kyle said, everybody to a man was superb. The only one I would slightly disagree is Nick Pope because he didn't have anything to do. But I do worry about his first touch when the ball's played back to him because it seemed to be a pass almost. He needs to brush up on his control on the back passes because I think that's where he gets into trouble. If someone's closing him down, his first touch isn't great.
Yeah,
should either pass it first time or just a hoof it, but it's not great. He needs to improve on that.
Tonight, it's going to be hard to we could literally go through each and every player, how good they were and what areas they were amazing at and what they did well. But I think a lot of people need to look at what impressed me a lot was when Man U got the ball and they played a pass. Before that Man United player got that ball, we were on them, man. We wouldn't let them get the ball. Seriously, on the back constantly, and we were winning that ball back so easily, man. We just wouldn't let them have it. That constant pressure was outstanding from the back four. It was absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, and when Eddie made the substitutions, they're the right substitutions at the right time.
Perfect. Yeah. Gordon impressed us when he came on as well. Yeah. Really good. He was banging. He was ready for it, Yeah,
I'm going to say, Elliot Anderson only came on for a few minutes, but he caused problems for Man United's defence when he did come on. It's what you want.
The match, the level, didn't they, when they came on?
Yeah.
And you seen Jacob Murphy when he come off. He was like, come on.
Yeah.
Like hyping him up, like, come on. And they do, they match the level when they come on. It was brilliant. One thing Gordon did, I was so impressed. Did you remember when he got that ball on the wing and there was no one there in the middle? And he just, he knew it and he waited and he waited and he waited and then he played it and then nearly came on. And I was so impressed with that because, a lot of them will just put it in the box when there's no one there. He waited for Isak to get in and it was just impressive. He looked really good.
Been about 10 or 15 minutes earlier in the game, Isak would have had the legs to get on the end of that. He was just dead on his feet by that point. That was good. I thought he had some good touches and was tackling back, and in the short, he impressed in the short amount of time that he had on the pitch, which is good. I just thought it was an all-round good display by everyone. I thought Maxi finally produced some end product.
We'll get into Maxi.
Getting them actually in a bit. Let's go on to go to comments as well. Please get his comments coming in, please. Thank you very much indeed. Got one from Mary Port Mag. Hi to you. Newcastle win. Mike Derby. I get it. Reference just fine. The all should be like him. Yes, exactly. Off we do.
It was fine. It wasn't great, but it was okay.
Great, but it was okay. It was okay.
It wasn't being because they tried their let's gather around the ref.
Yeah, there's none of those under the refs.
He wasn't having it. And I think the fact that we were so much on top of the game and it wasn't close has probably helped him in that respect, because I think some of the times if the game's close and they start the gathering around the ref, I think that influences the refs more, because they think, "Oh, have I got it wrong?" But this was so one-sided. I felt he probably felt so relaxed. It doesn't matter whether I give it or not. Newcastle is still going to batter them.
Exactly. Battered them, roasted and toasted. Viv thinks been done to get our jugs. Of course I do. Of course. Big up to Davey from Benwell. Hi to the sabotage game. Delighted that DVAR Wilson scored. He gave Rashford a shove in the back before finishing the corner. I didn't turn a notice of that, but whoever spotted that, big up to you, man. I mean, we could chat about that as well. And good evening, peeps. Hi to Jules. I hope you're okay and welcome aboard. Rolly the Guffey. That's in Gary D. Big up to Gary D, by the way. He's in the cut. He is in the cut. First of all, as well, everyone say hi to everyone, which is great. And hi to the chat. And Jules as well. And we've got one from Catherine as well. Good evening, John, with love from Japan. Catherine, thank you so much for your kind donation, and I really appreciate that. And what a win last night. And I tell you what, I mean, massive win for us as well. And you know what? I hope it's fantastic in Japan, one of the places I've never, ever been. And it looks beautiful. But thank you so much.
I just want to go back to that comment about the VAR with Wilson. I don't think there's any way in the world that they're going to give that. They're going to give that as a push. There was a push, but it's not like he really shoved it out his way. It's just a little nudge to get himself a little bit more space. It was. I don't think you get that any time, any day, anywhere.
You do at Old Trafford. You would have got it at Old Trafford. I'm telling you.
I'm not so sure.
Exactly. That would have been.
Every good striker does it. It's just a little push. It's not because the thing about the push was it didn't really. It moved the defender, but it wasn't like it was that hard. It's going to fall over. It's like the incident. It's like now it's got to be enough. It's got to be enough to actually make
contact sport in it. Yeah,
must contact. It's just a little. It's almost like a shoulder charge when defenders are trying to see the ball out of play. You sort of nudge the striker out of the way. It's the same sort of thing. It was just a little push, nothing too blatant. I mean, if it'd gone like that, yeah, you give it. But it was just a little touch, and then he backed off to get the space.
If it was the other way around, would you say the same thing?
Yeah, I would.
You would? Okay.
Yeah. Because because it wasn't. It was just a little nudge. It wasn't.
Yeah.
It wasn't a big shove. It's a little shove, and then you step back because you've then created the space.
Well, it wasn't bad because Rashford didn't even ding it. He didn't even argue or complain.
Yeah, because that's the sort of thing they shouldn't be getting involved in. A little push like that. If it's a big push,
exactly. Yeah.
That's why I don't think if it had happened against us, you think it's not big. If it's a big push, yeah. But it wasn't. So, I mean, everyone's jostling and looking for position. It's almost like if the defender's holding him and he pushes him, it's 6 of one, half a dozen the other.
Yeah, absolutely. We won anyway. We won at the end of the day. Thank you again, Catherine, for your kind donation. I appreciate that. And everyone saying hi to people. Everyone's thanking Kath as well for that kind donation too. And really the coffee, Bruno, that was funny, mate.
The goofy Bruno. It's goofy.
The goofy Bruno. What a result yesterday. And shared a love to Catherine as well. Not often I do want Everton to win, but you're going to have to cheer for Everton and elite. And Fabian Schär was putting his head in where it hurts, always end up with a boot to the head as always. Been down twice. What a stellar performance of Fabian Schär yesterday. I thought he defended, not only properly, but he defended for his lifetime yesterday alongside the Botman.
Yeah, I think that we need to rename Fabian Schär as the Charminator.
Yeah.
Because he keeps on going. You can't stop him.
I love that. I agree. Great name.
Absolutely. The Charminator. I love it. Big up legends to you. What a beautiful Sunday it was. Thank you very much indeed. It's hard, baby, but at least I must. If Carbs did Sunday, what a day.
Yeah.
And it was found out to cost they will use the points when they get done for breaking FFP. Yeah, suits us now. And you can chat in the Jules. True story. Got on from Goodfellow. It's called Spears Management. Just give them a little push. That's what it is. I mean, I want to talk about also a touchdown Damon as well. What a look when he was facing up against Anthony. I thought, is he finally going to crack Anthony? Because the first two games, in my opinion, I thought Anthony got a better than just. However, yesterday, I thought he was excellent against Anthony. Finally, Kyle cracked it.
Yeah, it means so much to him as well. Like you could see every tackle he was putting in, he was celebrating. It meant so much. It was like war. Honestly, the bloke was in war last night against United. I think for everyone, I think he even said in his interview, there was a bit of taste in my mouth from the cup final. And you can see that we wanted to get revenge. And he meant every tackle. He was celebrating them. And he was 6'6", fullback against a Brazilian. And honestly, he was outstanding, mate. Absolutely brilliant. What a player to have. And that to show that passion as well is just everything you want to see in any player in your team. He was brilliant, and they didn't know what to do. I think at one point they switched sides and they put Rashford because Anthony couldn't deal with him, and they swapped sides. And then Rashford had to dive, and he tried to buy a free kick because he couldn't do. His shoes were falling off. It was just an embarrassment for United, and it wasn't because they were bad, right? It's because we made them bad, and it's because the desire from each and every one of them, especially Dan Burn, was just meant so much more. We wanted to win more, and we were 10 times better on the day.
Yeah. We're better in every aspect of the game. The only player on their side that was better than ours was De Gea with his saves, because Nick Pope didn't have any saves to make.
Do you know what, Man U, if they didn't have that man in goal, he's one for me, in my opinion, one of the best in the world. I think if they didn't have him, mate, I think they'd be next to Chelsea, if not worse.
Yeah.
They haven't scored a goal in the league since the cup final,
Shame they scored in the cup final.
But without De Gea, they'd be screwed, mate. They wouldn't be anywhere near the top.
Away from home, of the top 9 teams that they played, they haven't beaten one of them. They've lost all. I think they've lost all of them against the top 9 teams that they played. Top 9 teams they are now. Everyone that they've played in the league away from home, they've lost.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But Dan Burn, going back on that, he was. I can't see him ever playing that well again. You can see how much it meant to him, and every tackle meant something to him. And it's the best performance I've ever seen Dan Burn play.
Absolutely. That guy, he's just defends properly now. And the last few games have been really good. It's great watching the Man U fans and Meltdown on TikTok. Yes, I've seen that. And show John William and Carlton love, and please hit those and consider subscribe if you're new to show. Super chats available as well. Thank you for that one. Cheers indeed. Willock's man of the match. Yeah, we've gone for the player. I thought the first half he should have scored twice, in my opinion. Also, that shot he had when he blazed it over the bar as well, which he should have done. Wednesday, let's extend our points leads further. Yep. We're going to go to the preview tomorrow. Rashford wasn't fouled. He's staying on his feet. It was a feeble jump by him, and slow motion makes it a lot worse. That's in tangent. Big at the tangent, by the way. Love to talk how gave to the boys after the game. We're going to talk about that later. So I've got a question for that as well. It's like Al said, everything's about the game and players was positive. Big up to Andrew, by the way. I hope you're okay, mate, and your family too. And we are the lads. And let's go for some more as well. And you could have won that game by 5 yesterday. You absolutely took the chance.
Absolutely.
Totally agree, mate. Totally agree. And that's that. Right. What I want to talk about as well, right? The midfield. I mean, our midfield was excellent yesterday. Yes, they missed Casemiro and Eriksen, but we have to play what's in front of us as well. I thought Bruno again was outstanding, and Willock as well.
I thought they were all outstanding. I thought Longstaff was unlucky with his shot. It's a decent strike, just a little bit wide. His motor is incredible. He does all the dirty work. I thought Willock was driving. I think when you look at them, all three of them were getting into the box, which shows how much we dominated the play. Willock, I say, he should have scored from the rebound after Isak's ball header was saved. He just didn't get any air under it, and so it just went straight. I think it came in quick and just couldn't get underneath it to just loop it over De Gea. The one that Maxi set him up with, you think, oh, it's going to score there, but it just gets under it and leans back a little bit. But then he was there for the first goal, still getting into the box. We just kept going. And I think that's the thing with this team, is they keep going. They keep trying to get into the box, trying to support the strikers, trying to... if you don't shoot, you can't score.
Exactly.
When they're getting the chances, they're shooting. Not necessarily great shots, but they're shooting. Again, Bruno, that nutmeg he did in the edge of our box, I think he nutmeg, but what can you say about this guy? You're sort of running out of superlatives for him. He was really good. Yeah, well, even when J7 came on, he sort of picked up where ASN left off. Obviously, he's a different type player, but he's causing them trouble. He's unlucky not to score himself. It's a good save by De Gea to put it onto the crossbar. Yeah, it's just an all-round superb performance. Probably our best of the season.
I think them three in midfield as well seem to just take turns. The communication in terms of getting in the box. So if two are attacking and one drops back, it's not always the same two. It's like the communication is so on point that they just take turns. They really do. Sometimes it's Willock, sometimes it's Longstaff, sometimes it's Bruno, and the others are always that, they seem to just swap around and they know each other's game that well. It's a joy to watch, and other teams are just struggling to match our energy. Because we're the most entertaining team to watch. You watch other games and it's not like the Toon, is it? We're entertaining to watch, and it's because we don't stop running. If we can put these chances away,
we're the fittest team in the league.
100%.
By a long shot.
Exactly.
We just run teams ragged with the energy, and because we're on the front foot, I think it's probably easier doing all that running and doing all the hard yards when you're attacking, and you're pressuring the opposition high up the pitch, because you think, well, get the ball back here, we've got a chance to score. And if they just sort of feed on that, and once the defense have made a mistake once, they're going to be on edge, so it just gives them the impetus to go that much. I mean, the opening goal, that you can almost put that down to Isak and his pressing, which led them to put the ball out of play for a throw-in. And after the throw-in, we actually scored in the move we created after the throw-in. We scored. If Isak doesn't close him down, we might not get the ball back to score the goal. That's one of the things that really impresses me with Isak. Forget about all his all-round skill and ability. It's the way he presses. It's on a different level to Wilson. And he presses well with Murphy on the outside as well. He presses, but not as much. But they try and press as a 3. And you can see the defense is the goalkeeper's panicking when they see he's bearing down on them. It's just all around. It's they're working well at the front 3, and you think, well, I'm expecting an unchanged side for Wednesday.
Let's hope that's the case. Unchanged side. I take an unchanged team. I mean, I know Joe Linton is going to have to wait his turn, so I keep the unchanged side.
That's the way you want it. You want it that if someone goes out of the team for whatever reason, the person that takes their place steps up, so that you don't have the necessity to put them straight back into the starting 11.
I love how there's no favouritism.
Yeah, and
competition for places, man.
Yeah, that's what you want.
Exactly.
At the end of the day, no one should be assured their place in the team.
I mean, look, Dan Burn came in at left back because Target got injured. He hasn't come off yet. He's never played again.
Exactly. That's the thing. There are only a few players that, if they go out of the game, miss a match, will come straight back in. Obviously, Nick Pope, there's Bruno. You're probably talking Botman, Trippier, and Sharp, because the probably the only other ones that, if they go out, they come straight back in. Everyone else, we've got someone that can take their place.
Absolutely, and that's how it should be. That's how it should be, because no one can guarantee a place. Simple as that. So I've got one to be fair, alongside played a great game. That's in Davey. We're so lucky to have Bruno G. It's causing Man U a lot of problems. Absolutely,
of course, everyone a lot of problems.
Exactly, and if he played for Man U, I tell you, he probably cause us problems. But no, he's our player. And Evan said, daughter and son-in-law met Gillespie at the game. Great anniversary presents. That is fantastic. Yeah. Thank you for that, Leslie, for your kind sharing the news about your daughter and son-in-law. Really fantastic. It's good to see how Given Ten Hag get Ten aloft. I'm going to talk about Ten Hag after we read his comments, by the way, because I'll tell you my thoughts on him. Great results. Everyone, at least 8, 9 out of 10. Bruno Batu's best 91% pass completion says it all. Now, let's hammer these hammers. Yes.
Yeah,
absolutely. Spot on, Alan. The Entertainers Mark 2. That's a good shout there. A bit gutted. Miggy wasn't playing, but he's out injured for the next couple of weeks. Big up to Coffee, by the way. Love Coffee, by the way. Rafinha had a good game for you yesterday. His favourite player. There you go. And we got one who episode highlight Coffee. He's the most important person in the chat. Imagine front for ASM Isak and Musa Diame next season. Wow, that'd be amazing.
We've got to get him first.
We don't need him. We've got Jacob Murphy. He's another player just playing out standard at the minute.
Say quietly.
We don't need him.
Yeah. At the beginning of the season, everyone's saying, "Oh, we've got in January, we've got to sell Murphy. We've got to sell Murphy." Like we're saying, we've got to sell Longstaff. And we say, "No, the players we need to sell before them," and this just proves the point.
He does the basics, and the basics work.
Yeah,
because he does them so well.
I mean, he's not an international class winger. He's not got many tricks, but he's got the legs. He'll press, and he can whip a ball in.
He'll put a ball in.
Yeah, and he'll track back and defend. So it's the basics he does well.
That's why our bench is better, because we've got Jacob Murphy playing out his skin.
Yeah,
absolutely. He wants to be at the club. He wants to be here. He wants to be a part of the project. And that's Jacob Murphy already. I mean, I did say in the past he's not my favourite player, but he has done a good job. And that's all we asked for. I love to be proved wrong. And that's why I love to be proved wrong.
And that's the great thing about the summer is the players we get in will mean that our bench is stronger, whether the players we get in start or on the bench.
Exactly.
It's going to get better. We're going to have going to be a situation where we'll be able to bring on 5 players and at least keep the standard of the player on the pitch the same.
Exactly. Well said.
Maybe have a few that come on and make an impact.
Exactly.
And that's what we want, because yesterday the guys we brought on Joe Linton, we brought on Gordon, brought on Wilson, brought on Elliot Anderson, and it didn't change the flow or the domination of the team. It kept it the same, because that's the sort of level of player we want on the bench, if not better, going forward. In the long term, we'll have better players on the bench than that, but in the short term, next season, that's the sort of level of player we want to be able to call on from the bench.
Exactly.
And then have players that don't actually come on that are of that level.
Yeah, absolutely, Rolly. Totally agree. Our bench seems stronger now. It feels like we have definitely at a transfer window. I still think we need to get some players in, Jez. I mean, I see your point.
We need to get 100%, more.
100%.
Because we're going to have a tougher season next season because we'll have Europe. So we're going to need more quality players. That's why I think we're going to get 5 or 6 in the summer, because we're letting that many go through contract expiration on players that we want to move on, like Ryan Fraser. He'll go in the summer because he's not going to be in the first picture at all.
The best thing about it is, Eddie's going to bring in the right people as well.
Yeah,
and not just some big name for a big price. It's going to be the right players.
Yeah,
correct. Absolutely, no passengers. Talk about passengers. Go on, mate.
We've had 3 transfer windows, and even including Chris Wood, you can say that they haven't put a foot wrong. I know Chris Wood wasn't the greatest, but he contributed in keeping us up. He scored a decent goal against Southampton this season, and we basically got our money back, or most of our money back, when we sold him to Forest. So you've got to look at that as a success as well.
Yeah,
absolutely. I mean, Order's done a fantastic job getting the players in. No dramas, no prima donnas at the club. Simple as that. And talk about 0 passengers.
As well.
Yeah, exactly. When was the last time we said a player has gone missing? Everyone works their socks off. Exactly, Jez. Thank you. We'll be stuff for dreams. And I hope Eddie gets manager of the year. I personally didn't get manager of the year. He'd be up there. He will be up there. But I think Arteta wins.
He should, but he'll go to whoever wins the league. It will go to whoever wins the league. But it should be Eddie.
Effie season.
Much, yeah.
He's took off from 20th to 3rd to Champions League, a cup final since the 90s. However, what more can the bloke do other than win the Premiership? Yeah, he's been with for how long? But it's just a shame that it seems like you need to win the league to get it. That's not right.
Yeah,
exactly.
Absolutely. That's just the way it tends to be, unless Eddie bucks the trend this season. He'd be worth it if they do give it to him. But they do tend to give it to whoever wins the league.
Yeah, correct. And it's always going to be a winner.
Yeah. I mean, as for when as a player gone missing, Eddie doesn't tolerate players going missing.
No.
That's why we don't have them going missing.
So what we're doing now, John? Are we talking Maxi? Are we talking Eddie?
We're going to go for the comments first quickly because I've got quite a few, and then we get them out of the way, and then we're going to go straight on to, we're going to talk about the goals scored. We'll be with you. Let's enjoy the Man U meltdown after the game. And Ten Hag, a good Ten Hag as well, was a bit too timid. He was outplayed, outclassed. Instead, he blamed on the desire. Eddie Howe is superior strategist. Absolutely right. Our first goal started down both throw-in, involved 6 to 7 different players. Proper team goal. Absolutely. I've never seen a more togetherness in our Newcastle squad. I do now. So EK. Buffino pointed at his wrist when leaving the pitch after the game. Shit house yet again. He's pretty good at that, isn't he? Wow.
Yeah.
We were meant to an orange tan eat. I can go change. And you know what it is, Jules? I love coloured t-shirts, if you know what I mean. We talk about orange. I got orange. Kyle's got orange. And you got purple. And
did you not get the message, Rolly?
Yes.
No, I didn't get that email.
Thank you for that, Leslie. 45p in the chat. Please smash the likes and share to the socials. Let's go higher. Thank you so much indeed for that. We're going to straight on to the goals first. The first goal was scored by Joe Willock. Like Coffee said, it's a 7-man move, and it was a lovely goal and a lovely cross of Bruno from the right. Headed across by ASM, finished off by Willock. Kyle.
Oh, I disagree with you, John. I didn't think it was a good cross. In fact, when that ball went in, I was like, "Oh no!"
He knew what he was doing.
Honestly, I thought he overhit it, and Maxi, instead of going near post, his ego could have got to him. He didn't, and he played the perfect pass across the box. And again, going back to Joe Willock, how many did he miss? He kept going. He kept attacking. He never give up. He's not afraid to miss. He keeps getting in them positions, and he got his reward, and he deserved it. Mind, he deserved a goal, and what a goal it was. I mean, okay, the finish wasn't great, but the fact he was in that position and the way Maxi played it back across goal was brilliant. Because if he goes for goal, Diggy is saving it all day. But I want to go a bit further back to that ball through from Isak. That little ball through was beautiful, absolutely beautiful. But I was worried about the cross. I'll admit it. I thought Bruno messed the cross up with a great goal, all in all.
Because the two of our guys, there's ASM. I couldn't see who was in front of ASM.
Not sure.
I thought, because initially I thought he'd overhit it, and then you see ASM behind, and with the flight of the ball, he may have actually meant it for ASM.
No, maybe, I would hope so. Yeah.
And it's one of those ones that it's so easy to overhit or underhit. But your first thought is, oh God, who's up there? And then Maxi of last season goes for goal.
Exactly. I'm glad he got his assist as well.
Yeah, he deserved it, because he could have had three. He could have had three assists yesterday, because in the first half he set up Longstaff, he just missed, and Willits he skied one.
I don't think he made a bad decision. He was brilliant.
Yeah.
Cool. Got some comments as well. Teta gets the manager of the season. You have to say a fair play. Every team considers as they are. Eddie is very close, though. I have to agree. Teta will get it, and Howe's one is up. Let's just scream with
that's if Arsenal win the league.
If they win the league,
they should do. From this position, they should do, because they're 8 points ahead of Man City. Now you're in the region where the games start running out for them to catch. The longer they stay 8 points ahead, the harder it is going to be for Man City to catch them.
I agree. It all comes down to the match at the Etihad, and Arsenal's got a tough game away to Liverpool.
It could be sorted before then. If Arsenal continue their run through April, I don't know, when do they play Man City? Do you know? I
think it's near the end of April. I think it's 26, something like that.
They've got us to play. They've got to come to St James's Park.
Exactly. I hope Arsenal win the league before they come to St James's.
My point is that if they win out till they play to Man City, they can still afford to lose to Man City and us and still be 2 points ahead, and then there'll only be about 3 games left.
Then it's squeaky bum time, innit?
Yeah. That's what I mean. Because if they win out, and this is presuming that Manchester City win out as well, till they meet, that's when it becomes really difficult for Man City to catch them, because they've got to drop so many points in so few games.
Yeah,
right. We know that we dropped through at St James's Park. Are they playing Man City at the Etihad or Etihad? That's going to be a tough game, because a draw for them at the Etihad is a brilliant result.
Totally agree.
Because they just have to match what Man City do for about 5 or 6 more games, and then it's going to be extremely hard they've got to implode for Man City to catch them.
Exactly. And they've also know exactly what to do. They haven't lost many games, but I tell you what, I mean, have they got the tools to do it? I truly believe they can. And
I think it's going to be extremely hard. If there was sort of like 15 games to go, or between 15 and 20 games to go, an 8-point lead is not a problem. But you're starting to get into the single-digit games to go. So with that gaps still in place. Because normally when sides have been caught that had big gaps at Christmas,
everyone else is crap as well.
Yeah. When we missed out on the title, that big gap, but by this time, when you're getting into April, it was Man United had closed the gap, and we were sort of struggling to try and stay ahead of them, and that's when the pressure was really on. But Arsenal, we're in April now. I know we've still got a lot more games to go than we'd normally have in April, but you can see the finish line, and they've still got a big lead. So it's going to be it's not impossible for Man City to overhaul them. It's going to be very difficult.
Yeah, they've done it before. They know how to do a title charge.
Yeah,
Arsenal hasn't quite done it yet, but
they haven't done it for a long time. But the form that they're in and the belief they have, they're going to win most of the games they've got for the rest of the season.
Yeah.
And they can still afford to drop. They can still afford to get beaten twice and still have a lead.
Shit. I think I'm on EFTV. Hang on. Can we get back to the Toon or what? Come on. I think John's having a technical issue. So we'll be right back after this short video.
Yeah. So we've just changed the channel from AFTV back to
the John It's the John Sinclair TV again. Let's go.
AFTV. How dare you? And I'll tell you what, we've got a gooner in here, right? And she's Eddie Howe's favourite player. You're the best in trouble. And get us in the room. Lottie. Remember she said she's going to put 4 goals past us?
Yes, I do.
And I love it's not going to happen. Oh, man. Nah, she's lovely, Lottie. Big up to Lottie, by the way. Show us some love, please, people. And she goes, John, I told you, had another 3-point weekend incoming, Agent Joe. She's absolutely right. She doesn't miss a beat. We go through the comments there. We all thought it was a poor Bruno cross, including me, but you have to give Bruno the benefit of the doubt there. He thinks just that split second quicker and sees things that we do not exactly. And welcome to Jed's to Lotte, by the way. Arteta doesn't get it. Rightly belongs to Eddie for sure. Absolutely. We've got one from Lee Kelly. So I'll get to Lee. Hi to you, mate. And what a result yesterday. Top performance. They all deserve 10 out of 10 for the players. Oh, John, thought you had the Chelsea top on there. No, I did not. Chelsea top on? Really? I don't think Chelsea plays an orange, by the way. But I see what you mean.
Isn't there a wake at orange?
No, it's just an Adidas top. That's all it is. It's just
no. I'm just saying, isn't Chelsea's a wake at orange?
Imagine.
I talk it off Chelsea. I tell you what, Todd Boy's face is going to be all orange as well. Sacking.
That's a good question, Coffee.
Exactly. He did well yesterday and found an assist and could have had more. Exactly. He played well yesterday. By the way.
ASM out.
Yes, you did. I was sticking up for him. I had his back. Yous were ASM out. Apologise. Apologise.
I have never been ASM out.
Never been out.
Not me.
Out's a strong word, but you were implying he was washed and we'll get rid of him for someone else. It's part of the deal.
No, I said that if we're going for Osimhen, I would, ASM was part of the deal. I said I didn't want to lose ASM, but I would do that deal. But that's only for that player. But I've never wanted ASM out. I'd rather have Osimhen and keep ASM.
100%.
Exactly. Go for some more as well. Everyone said thanks a lot as well. And I got confused because almost everyone in the Prem watches John's channel. And then say, Rolly man, come on, your defense in trouble and get your ass on, get us to the Toon.
Our defense in trouble.
Yes, I
just look at how many goals we've conceded.
Wow.
But I mean, Nketiah to the Toon. Would you take Nketiah?
I like him, but we've got Isak. You know,
as a backup for Isak.
The backup.
Backup to Isak.
I guess.
It's a decent striker.
Yeah.
And he's young as well. So
Isn't he? He is very young. And I'll tell you what, though, if he did come on a season-long loan, then, cool. And he comes in, cool. That's fine. I've got no problems with that. So it's like he said, like Will said, he's young and he will get goals. And
but I love how we're like, then Kitty out of the Toon, we're like, yeah. Like remember back in the day, I would have been like, he would never, you know what I mean? Like, would be like, of course we'd have him. Now we're just like, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. It's one lose and City beat Arsenal. Arsenal not clearly played a game more than Man City.
That is true. But even if they lose one and lose to Man City, they're still 2 points ahead of them. That's my point. And that the games are coming thick and fast and they're running out of games to be caught. Also, we've gone to AFTV again.
AFTV. Wow. Don't mention AFTV to Lottie, by the way. She hates them. She doesn't like them at all whatsoever. Yeah. Let's go straight to the second goal. Right, before I do that, first start of the season needs to be followed by a win at West Ham. Thank you, Jack, for your comments there. And please hit the subscribe button if you can, if you're new. And I appreciate that. Thank you very much indeed. So let's go to the second goal. Trippier's free kick. And then finished off by Callum Wilson. Came on to sub Isak. And he headed it in just inside the post and made it 2-0. There's questions. There was a foul before that where he put his hands on Marcus Rashford. But
I don't think there's any question about that.
It didn't matter anyway. But again, Callum Wilson, not been scoring for 3 months. And he goes to score a goal like that.
I think the person that's been missed out in this goal, one of my favourite players that I've been championing for God knows how long, Sean Longstaff. He got the foul. He did well, got himself in a position where he could get fouled and did. A bit of a really clever play by him. It reminds me of the time we beat Man City at our place 2-1, where the player, I forget who it was, their defender was dawdling, and he nipped the ball off him and got fouled. There's sometimes a little bit of football smarts can get you in really good positions. A superb ball by Trippier. Just a little touch on the defender's back. I don't think that you get a foul for that anywhere. And I'd say the same if it was against us. And he just guided it into the bottom corner. A great striker's goal.
Absolutely. Look, I've been. I'm not going to lie about Callum Wilson. I just said to him, has been performing, and he needs to fix up, But there you go. Comes on, scores a goal, and he's so happy. And I'm happy for Callum. Do you know what I mean? And I hope that he stays next season. I will say that as a squad player, I've always said that. To tell us where it's going to go next season, we do need another striker. We do need 3 top strikers at the club. I've always said that. You pleased with Callum's score there, Cal?
Yeah, I was happy for him. As a first striker, you need goals, and he says what a better way to do it. Coming off the bench, you need to get a goal. If you want to earn your spot back in the first team, you need to score goals, and he did. Great goal, yeah. Free kick, outstanding, and even De Gea wasn't saving that, but it was well deserved, and it shouldn't have been 1-0 that late in the game. It should have been put to bed ages ago. But I'm glad we got what we deserved, and it got celebrated one more time. It was brilliant.
Absolutely. With 5 comments, going to talk about the manager's step as well. I knew that would make John laugh. He loved that song. I love it. I do. Still got the best defense in the league. Me, not so much as a Lottie. Initially, I thought Lottie was talking about Todd Boehly because he stepped out and sacked Potter. And Todd Boehly confirms watches John's channel. Todd Boehly's in there. Welcome, Todd. He can always come on as well and explain why he sacked Potter. And I take a barrier for Liverpool on loan. That boy's getting bad treatment at Liverpool. I think I kind of agree with that. I like him. It's Champions League football out and make pay every spend by Newcastle in Europe. Big names. That's Diego. Yeah. 3-1 against West Ham. I don't think it'll be 3-1. It's going to be tight, but I think
I don't think they'll score.
I agree.
I don't think West Ham will score.
Agree. Touch wood.
I saw the game against Southampton, though they won it. Southampton looked the better side.
They did.
They, especially the second half when they were pushing. Fabianski had to make a few saves and they hit the crossbar.
I just hope it. I would have liked a week off after that. What we just did yesterday. Yeah. I would have liked a bit of a longer rest, but let's hope we had this.
You say that, but when we went into the World Cup, we had the similar rush of games, and we won all of them. Played pretty much the same team.
If we have that same energy on Wednesday, there's no one playing. Like, good luck to West Ham. That's all I'm going to say. You know what I mean? Like, good luck.
Yeah, I mean, anything can happen, but you would expect us to win the game
away from home. Let's hope we can just do what we do at St James's Park away from home.
We've done it a lot this season as well, so there's no reason why we can't.
Yeah,
it's that simple.
West Ham, they'll be buoyed by the win, but they're still only 1 point outside the drop zone. And if Everton win tonight, I think they go back into the drop zone. No, they don't, because Bournemouth and Forest have got worse goal difference. But they'll be level with the third bottom place. So they're in big trouble. And hopefully we can put some more pain on them.
Absolutely. Just lash them up, just beat them as well. All the previews, Newcastle to get a central mid who can transform those misses into goals this summer, as Sean and Willock has passion but can't shoot for toffee. I mean, James Maddison, he could be available in the summer.
He will be available this summer because I think Leicester will go down. Probably Southampton.
100%.
And I think Everton will go down because I think that if they finish this FFP panel thing before the end of the season, they'll have points stopped off them. Or they should have points taken off, which will send them down because it's so tight down there. So those are my three. I mean, that's not saying that Everton are actually going to escape, get enough points to stay up anyway. But I think we need a good another. If we play like we did yesterday, we'll win comfortably. I don't think they're going to be able to handle Isak.
And Maxi as well. Maxi does that again.
Yeah, because the thing I like about, I mean, I love Callum Wilson, but Isak just gives so much more trouble to defences. Is better on the ball. I think he's a little bit quicker. I think he presses better.
He's even better in the air. I know Wilson just scored a header, but like in terms of winning balls in the air, he's got the height as well. He's really good at jumping up.
He poses different problems for Wilson and can finish. Can finish almost as well as Wilson. And the kid's only 22, so I mean, you look at him now. In 5 years' time, when he's reaching his prime.
Do you know what? I like that comment. Rolly, that Diego's just said. He makes a good point. He doesn't want players from bottom clubs. You know, I get that because with us going into Europe next season and everything else, do you look abroad for these top players, these top teams elsewhere in like Italy and Spain, etc.? I get that. I actually get that.
I do get that, but there are occasional players that go down. If Leicester go down, you're looking at the players that they've gone down in spite of them playing rather than because of them. It's like Maddison is being their best player. He's still got a hat full of goals. You
think we'd get them for cheaper, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Bargains. Yeah.
Tielemans, he's been out a lot this season, but I wouldn't touch anybody else out of that Leicester team. You look at Southampton, the only one really worth anything is Ward-Prowse. He's the one that you look at.
Saliba as well, the centre half as well. I think.
Maybe. If West Ham go down, you'd look at Agard. You'd look at Rice. Maybe Bowen, but that's about it.
Yeah.
You look at Everton. You're looking at T-Rex and Onana.
Yeah.
If you look at Forest, if they went down, you'd be looking at Gibbs, White, and Johnson. Wouldn't touch anybody else. There's always one or two players in relegated sides that are worth looking at. Most of them aren't. I mean, it's like you say that you wouldn't buy players from teams that are getting relegated. Are you upset that we bought Nick Pope?
Yeah.
There are players that, in spite of their efforts, they still go down because the rest of their teammates are shite. It's a team game. It's not one person that wins or
Eddie gets the best out of every player, doesn't he? You know,
Yeah.
I think Botman said it. You know, he makes you believe it. You realize you've got skills that you didn't know you had. So he just improves you as a player. You know, but yeah,
He does.
I find it more interesting when it's players I don't know.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, there's a lot of. Obviously, we're going to be linked with thousands of players in the summer, but there are one or two really interesting players that we've been linked to, like both of the Torams. Looking at Kone at Borussia Mönchengladbach, obviously Diaby. I mean, there are quite some interesting players. There are quite a few I haven't even heard of. We might go back in for that young Brazilian lad that we tried to get in January.
Is that Fitoroki?
I think so. But I think the other thing is when you look at the history of this ownership, if they really want a player and they don't get him in one window, they'll come back for him in the next. We did that with Ekatiki, and he decided to go to PSG and ruin his career, or the start of his career, which he has done. And we did the same with Botman. We went from the January, didn't get him, got him in the summer. We'll go back in for James Maddison, I believe.
Exactly.
We went for him in the summer. We didn't really go for him in January because we realised that Leicester weren't going to let him go, but we'll be back in for him in the summer. We went for Diaby in the summer. That didn't come through. I think we'll be back in for him in the summer. If they like a player and they feel that he can... I think the other thing with the players we go for, they're all quite young. So if you don't get in one window, you still got a long lifespan of them in their peak when you go back for them in the next window or the window after that or the window after that. They've proved with the way that we've recruited that they do their due diligence. They know what they're getting. They know how they're going to fit in with the team on and off the pitch. And so they're quite prepared. If the price of the deal isn't right, they're quite prepared to walk away and then come back.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I totally agree. Rory Steaks knows the best. You're going to go on the managers.
Eddie knows best.
Eddie knows best, and Rory backs it as well. We go over to comments and go through the manager talk for the player rating as well. I get that, but Champions League is brand new team, and JWP, James Ward-Prowse don't sell shirts, mate. I'm definitely against them. I want Thuram, Thuram from Nice. I think he plays in Nice. I could be wrong. Yeah. From France Young CDM, just break into the French national team.
I'd just like to comment on that. Though the finance is important, I'm not the greatest James Ward-Prowse fan myself, but if Eddie wants him, he's not the guy that you buy to sell shirts. He's a guy that you buy to try and improve your team or give yourself something a little bit different. Not everybody's going to be the... When you look at our players, who can you say that has actually been bought because of the shirts they're going to sell?
I don't believe... I mean, I'm not wanting to put names on the back of my shirt because I'm like nearly 40, but I would never have thought of having Big Dan Burnham in the back of my shirt, but after yesterday's performance, he's the number one player I'd have on the back of my shirt. The passion, the hunger and everything that he did yesterday was just outstanding. It's a joy to have him in my squad, and I would definitely have his name on the back of my shirt, no doubt about it.
I mean, the way you look at the way I look at the team is we've got a team that have become superstars rather than being bought because they're superstars.
Exactly.
There's no one that we've bought that you think, oh, it's not like we haven't bought a Ronaldo or a Messi or a Neymar who the shirts are going to fly off the door. Before we signed Bruno, had you heard of him?
Never. I had heard of him, but I hadn't really seen him play.
Yeah, exactly. That's because I mean, people bought shirts because he was a big signing, but they didn't buy it because they knew how good he was. Because most people in this country, I'd never heard of him before we went in for him. Because I don't really follow European leagues. So when we look abroad, it's unless it's someone that's starred in a World Cup or Euros or something like that, or maybe the Champions League, you can then say they're being bought partly for their, mainly for their playing ability, but their ability to shift shirts. But most of our players have been, I mean, look at Dan Burn. Before he signed, no one would have thought about getting us. I'm sure that Dan Burn wasn't the biggest selling shirt at Brighton.
Exactly. Do you know what I mean?
But they've improved so much. Everyone at the club, with exception to Ryan Fraser, that you think now that they're all sort of becoming star names in the league because people have sat up and taken notice to how good they are and how well we're playing as a team.
Yeah, fair enough. We've got before we go to the managers' quotes as well. We go through these comments quickly, and then we go to the players' quotes. We go to player ratings. For selling shirts, get both American World Cup in a few years' time. I'd love to go to America in a few years' time. Any plans or camera quality time soon? You never know. You never know. Still anything in fact. You never know. Bob been on his channel before, and for the whole spoon off the Toon, and that is still a legend for sure too. I'm not going to put on players' names on the back of the shirts because I'm only 40. That's exactly how I feel. That's in shares. And Europe,
just about remember being nearly 40.
Yeah. Wow. Fair play, Diego. Can we just get Ryan Face into Hibs? Yes. Right then, a manager's call. We're going to talk about Eddie Howe as well. I mean, that dressing room, he had a speaking to the place in the dressing room. It's being filmed. And Rolly, what's your take on it? Do you think they're right to film that? Because I did.
I think that's part of the contract they got with Amazon.
Absolutely.
So yeah, I don't have a problem with it. They're saying that they're a bit skeptical of having the cameras to start off with, but they've got used to them now. I don't see any problem with that whatsoever. It's nice to see it.
It's great for the fans.
Yeah.
It's great for the fans, isn't it?
If we didn't have that, we'd have never seen Dan Burns dance.
Exactly. Rory, are you gonna pull that picture up?
Yeah. We do that as well. We need to go on to the and player ratings as well. I mean, that picture sends the same, I think, but the one he sent us, I tried to download it and it just will let us go. But what I've got the nearest one to it, and let's have a look. And sorry, that's not that one. That's the one. We share that one as well. And there you go. Look at that one as well. How about this one then? Eddie Howe's given Ten Hag, you know what? And that is, go on then, take it away, Cal, it's you.
Sorry, mate. It's just, I asked you to pull this up because I was one thing I was critical about Eddie was on the sidelines. I didn't see enough. And when I seen this and I seen him on the sideline going at Ten Hag like that, I just loved every minute of it. I thought that's a manager that isn't allowing any bullshit. Like, he's not, because the manager's just as bad as the players. If anything, he's telling them to do it. If you can go down and all that. You'd even see our players doing it. Anyway, I love seeing Eddie Howe like this, and it meant the world to me seeing him pointing his finger in his face like that. Like, come on, Eddie lad, that's what you want to see. We can see about the players, the passion they've got. Dan Burn, when he didn't mess with him, and when one player gets some stick, they'll allow him, and I love seeing that from a manager, and I just didn't think we ever seen enough of that from Eddie. He was always seemed like the timid type and the quiet type, but when he was doing that to Ten Hag, it just made me Sunday even better. I was over the moon. Loved it.
Because the guy has no class. He's tried his mind games.
Yeah, he doesn't.
All about time wasting, and then he's moaning about Nick Pope taking his time on one goal kick in the second half.
Yeah.
When De Gea was doing it all game, and it was blatant. It's just.
It was just nice to see.
Yeah.
I wanted more. Yeah. I wanted that from Eddie, and we got it. It was perfect against United as well. I love it. I love that for.
Absolutely. You know what it is, guys, right? I mean, Den Hag's come on and said that we're boring, right? We just slow the game down, right? And we were just like stuck, right? 21 goals attempts, 6 on target. They're now 1 shot on goal the whole of the game. So I think Ten Hag, no disrespect, right? I mean, he'll come good. I think he's a good manager, but at the end of the day, he did the talking, did the team talk first, right? Ollie.
To be honest, I think that when we're in a place where we're focused on ourselves rather than what other teams say. So did he do the team talk for us? I'm not so sure, because I'm sure Eddie does a much better team talk.
And he wasn't salty after the game. I did respect his interview. He did admit that, we were the better team and we deserved to win. I like that.
He said it. Yeah, I like that. He said it through gritted teeth, though, but at least he said it. Like, Luke Shaw is trying to say we didn't win because of our quality. I thought that's a bit salty.
Is that what he said?
Yeah.
Wow. So how did we win then? Luck. Was it luck?
They said we won because of our passion and desire. Yeah, we had passion and desire, but we also had a hell of a lot of quality, more than they had.
They had 1 shot on target.
Yeah, he was more feeling sorry for himself and them saying, "Oh, we've got to play better. It wasn't acceptable." Blah blah blah. And I think that was his way of trying to make them feel a little bit better. But it's lack of class. When you get beat like that, you put your hands up and say, "Yeah, we got beat."
Yeah. Let's go through the comments as well. Did you see the fans singing to the Man U fans? You seen United now F off home, absolutely classes. Yeah. I love that. Did people knew Bruno? Yeah. Ashley, I'll turn that back. Yes, I did. He played for Leon, but again, didn't watch the league on, so I did heard of him.
The point I was making, I mean, there are people who have heard of him. I don't watch football outside of the Premier League. Occasionally watch the Champions League when English clubs are playing, and the internationals. I've not heard of Bruno before, and I'm sure there are a lot of people who don't follow Brazil, the Brazilian national team or Liga, had never heard of him.
Exactly.
If you follow Liga, you would have heard of him. If you follow Brazil and you watch their qualifiers, as you say, for 2 years, you'd have heard of him. But if you don't, and I'm sure there are a lot of people who support Newcastle that don't follow Liga and don't watch Brazil unless they're playing England, wouldn't have heard of him.
Exactly.
That's just very true. Exactly. Well, great win for a fantastic performance. Thank you, Luca, for that, mate. Hi to you. I hope you're okay. And check out the Big Six Friday show. I'm on there normally. Thanks to Luca and all the Man U fans that again got the express trains back to London. They've got that so quickly. They couldn't just wait to get out of there. Luke Shaw's the man deluded, like he's defending. Yeah, I mean, to come out, he's brave to come out, but at the end of the day, right, they got beat. Tell Luke Shaw to go and sit an injury table. He can't walk through his career. Big up Nicky Ling. Eddie's class that we're lucky to have him as manager. Would you swap him with? I can't think of anyone. Not at all. Not at all.
Just a quick one, Kyle. You look like you're sitting in the dark there.
Sorry, I turned this on. Is it not helping?
Yeah. I didn't notice that until
I'll turn the big light on.
Yeah, because we could hardly see you.
Hey, remember when people were Eddie out? Eddie out.
Not me.
What are you talking about? Who was saying Eddie out? Are you mental? What more do you want?
Yeah. It's because
what more can he do?
Because we lost a couple of games, Eddie. I mean, it's ridiculous.
Shocking. I tell you what, if you want Eddie out, get in the bin. Get in the bin.
Get out this podcast.
Get it. Yeah. Thank you. Right then, play ratings time. We're pushing on for time play ratings. You know what to do. We give our players rating marks out of 10. It includes the managers, the players, and the managers, the fans, and the referee as well. And you can join as well, but please don't bitch and moan. Right, if you don't agree with our ratings, we don't care. We'll be back against West Ham. Simple as that. Right, then Nick Pope, I started rolling. Nick Pope, for me, one save all afternoon. Again, was shaky. His distribution of the ball at his feet. 13th clean sheet of the season. And what would you give him?
Distribution shaky. My worry with Nick Pope now, I've figured out what it is his first touch. When they play the ball back to him, his first touch is a pass. He needs to clear that up. But yesterday, he wasn't under really any pressure. I didn't think his distribution was that bad. He just didn't have anything to do. The shot that he did have to save was weak and right at him.
Yeah.
So I can't. It's difficult to give him much more than a 7. He did what he had to do. I don't think his distribution was that bad. He needs to brush up on his first touch, because if he's under pressure, that's what caused him the red. Almost got him the red card against Wolves, because his first touch was atrocious. He needs to work on that, but he didn't do anything particularly wrong. And didn't have much to do, so I'll just give him a 7.
That's a fair shout. Let's go on to the back four. Carl, I'm going to give you Kieran Trippier. Best performance in a black and white shirt for me. I think he close. He absolutely schooled Marcus Rashford, by the way. I'm not going to lie. He done an assist for the free kick, which gone to Callum Wilson. Up and down the pitch was excellent. And you know what? He's back to his very, very best. If he carries that through, then you know what? We get top 4. No problems at all.
Yeah, I just think you nailed everything on the head there. I have to just repeat what you just said. It was absolutely brilliant. It was a brilliant performance. His goal contribution, that ball in, was outstanding. The only reason I'm not giving him a 10 is because he didn't shoot. He didn't bang one in the top corner. But for me, I'm going to give him a 9. He was a terrific performance. And I think he contributes to how good the back 4 are as well, massively. In terms of, the experience he's got in La Liga, winning, the title with Atletico, and he just seems to keep that back 4 in line. And I think they're as good as they are now because of him. And that's my personal opinion. I genuinely believe he has a big say in how good we are. I think if you take him out, I don't think we're anywhere near as good as we are and have been. I think we're the best in the league. I think we're the best actually in all 4 English leagues. So the reason I'm not giving him a 10 is because he didn't bury one in the top corner, but he definitely earns a 9.
Fair enough. Sums up 7 accurate crosses, 5 tackles, sums it up, and what a performance from KT. Let's go on to the other side. Dan Burn, for me, he finally cracked how to man Mark Anthony at the game. That's what I want to see. He made a statement tackle on Rashford, and he celebrated like he scored a goal. And in his interview, he said, we dislike Man U for a while now. And that's his comments. And he's made 6 tackles, won 6 duels.
You need to say that more, John. You need to say that more, John.
Yeah. That's not my words. That's some Dan Burns.
I know, but you need to use his words.
I know what you mean. Well,
we'll talk about that after the
show. I know the crack. But listen,
Dan Burn, he had a good game. I think what tends to happen now is that he grows into the game a lot quicker when it's against the speedy, tricky wingers. I think he's sort of figured that they're going to try and have a go at him because he's a big lad, so he's got a turning circle like an aircraft carrier. But he's ready for it now. Yeah. And with Anthony, he got close to him. When he got the ball, he was right on top of him, so he didn't have the space to try and get past him. I thought he played him really well. And then they put Rashford on his side, and he did the same to him. It was a very good performance. And I'm going to give him a 9.
Yeah. I disagree with Wally. There it is. We disagree on something. Hey! Dan Burn, man of the match for me. That was the one thing I said that we might disagree today, is because Bruno got player of the match, and I don't agree with that. I think Dan Burn for me was man of the match, and he was a 10.
Okay, yeah, we did disagree, but we're only one out on the marking.
That's
and
true.
I do agree that Bruno wasn't man of the match, but we will disagree on the man of the match, though.
Cool.
So we'll disagree twice. Hey, back to normal.
There you go. So now 10 out of 10 for Dan Burn. Let's go on to the centre defenders. We're going to start with Rowley, family and share. Rock solid performance. He got knocked out twice, but he still got back up and performed. Excellent on the ball, and he was unlucky with a long-range shot which went past the post, which is really unlucky by the 1-2. And this guy soldiers on, gets on with the job. This is the best Fabian share I've ever seen in a black and white shirt. And £3 million, you cannot go wrong with that.
You mean the Shermanator? Because he just keeps on going. Gets up. And he was unlucky not to score. I mean, he had that shot, and then that header at the end was cleared off the line by, was it Martial?
Yeah.
He had a really good game. Man United showed no attacking threat whatsoever, and that's partly due to Shah. I thought, again, another top-class performance, and a bargain. He's playing the best football that he has since he's been at Newcastle. I'm going to give him a 9. I mean, the reason I'm giving him a 9, I'm the same with Dan Burns, because I feel I can't give everybody a 10.
I know. It's hard, isn't it?
It is. We're going to fly over these ratings as well. Let's go on to Sven Botman. This guy, one of the best performances I've seen, in my opinion. We come from food poisoning last week. I thought he was going to make it. I'm glad he did. He did a brilliant header to clear a header before it got to Rashford from corner. He did a brilliant block to deny Zabitzer's cross. And you know what it is, right? He absolutely owned and pocketed Vegas as well. And this guy has been absolutely fantastic. And he was involved with the build-up for the first goal for Willock. Take it away.
Yeah, I think he was brilliant. And for me, he's one of the best signings we've made. He's up there with one of the best signings and one of the most key signings. Him and Bruno. I mean, Trippier's obviously been fantastic, but I think Botman really has cemented that back four. And just when like I say, going back to what I said earlier, is when Man U got the ball and they played a pass to someone, you know, in the cam centre attacking midfield or the attacking strikers, we were up their arse. Botman was up their arse, and he wasn't letting them get 2 touches. They may touch it once, but the pressure he had on them, we were winning that ball back so easily. And it's because of his constant pressure when we did lose the ball. I thought he was absolutely brilliant. Again, I'm going to give him a 9. It wouldn't be fair to give him an 8 and Shaw a 9. He deserves a 9.
Fair enough. We're going to the midfield, go for the comments as well. Opposing managers and players don't give any honor to credit where it's due. We are a well-coached drilled team. This is from Chris, by the way. Ten Hag's comments, we played above our levels, and he was wrong because he was poor. The team was poor.
Yeah. I just want to say on that is when it says we played above our level, it's a bit condescending, because you think he's judging us on what we were last season. Because if you consider us last season, we're playing above our level. This season, we proved we're playing to our level, because this is our level.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Just because he doesn't want to admit that we're good.
Yeah.
This is our level.
Correct. Absolutely, because you know what it is, right? We deserve praise as well, but unfortunately, these people just don't give it to us at all whatsoever. Yeah. I bet United got loads of it yesterday, but hey ho, we deserve.
I think the other thing is, because we all know that we're way ahead of schedule on the project. It's because we've raised our level so much. And if it wasn't our level, we wouldn't have been the sort of way the results we've been getting would be a fluke for one season, maybe. We've done it for a season and a half, because we did it from when Eddie took over. Once he started winning, we had that terrific run after the international break in January, and we carried it on this season. So this is our level. Yeah,
absolutely, man. And we're going to get better. Let's go on to the midfield. We're going to rattle through these as well. We're going to go with you, Cal, I'm going to give you Joe Willock a stunning display from midfielder. He missed a couple of sit-outs as well, especially in the first half, by the way, but he got a score. But I tell you what, his performance tonight, let's be real, he's got to be knocking on the England's door. Do you know what I mean? And
yeah.
I really give him.
Well, he won't because Gareth Southgate's still in charge. You know, that's the only reason he's not in that England squad. But for me, for Willock, for me, it's his energy. You know, he just doesn't stop, mate. And he was for me. He could have got man of the match. He was that good. Okay, his finishes do let him down. But what I love about Willock, he doesn't give up, and he'll still get in that box. You know, he doesn't let them misses. He's not afraid to miss. Doesn't let it get to him, and he'll keep trying until he comes off that pitch. So I love that about Willock. I love his energy. He's always a threat. He's always in great positions, and he just doesn't stop running. And he had a great game. So I can't give him a 10 because of the misses, but it's a 9 again. And the reason for that is because he got the goal. He never give up, and it was a big goal as well. It was a goal that was needed, because if they scored first, you know, okay, they were never scoring. But if they did, it's a different game. That goal going in you know what I'm saying. It was important. So yeah, for me, it's a 9, not a 10 because of the misses. But that's it. Great game.
Fair enough.
I'd agree with you. I've had thought long and hard about who my man of the match was. I'm still having trouble deciding.
Yeah, 100%.
Willock's in the draw for that. It's almost like picking lots. You could pick any one of 10. Could have got it.
Could have, eh?
Fair enough. Let's go straight on to Buda Gimarash and you and Rowley. That guy was definitely today. Boston midfield against McTominay and Sabitzer. And he won 9 duels, making 4 tackles in the process as well. Set up the first goal. And I tell you what, this guy is absolutely magic. Both ends of the pitch today.
Well, you put it very well. He was superb today. I don't think he was man of the match. But that's not because he played badly. He was superb. Like this little nutmeg at the edge of our box, forget who it was. He nutmegged the guy. You can give the guy the ball in any situation, and he can handle the pressure. It's a lovely at the cross it was a lovely run to get that chip in for Maxi to head back across. Goal. We talked about that, whether he meant it for Maxi or not, but
it was needed.
You can see why we miss him when he's not playing.
We're not the same team, are we?
Yeah,
we're not the same team. So
what are you giving him?
We're giving him
9.
And 9. Let's go straight on to Jacob Murphy. Oh no, Sean Longstaff. Sorry, Sean Longstaff for you. Cal, I mean, it was a really strong display by the midfielder. He had a shot in the first time, went past the post, but at the end of the day, he's won lots of dual ones as well. 3 tackles, 8 duels won, and he seems so confident as well. He's back to his best. And you know what? Sean Longstaff does Sean Longstaff things.
Oh, you've just said what I was going to say. He had a Sean Longstaff game. He had his chances, some great chances that could have been put away. He didn't. That's what he does. And the odd 1 or 2 will go in every now and then. But importantly, is he's always involved in the goal. You know, he won that free kick and that second goal, and it was later on, and he's still up there at their corner flag. Attacking, and he was just outstanding. Again, he had a great game. Sometimes he can fall off the map, but he had a great game against Man U yesterday, doing what Sean Longstaff does. He's entertaining to watch, and he's always involved. Again, I can't give him. Okay, Willock had an outstanding game. I'll give him an 8, but that's harsh. I'm going to give him an 8 because Joe Willock was just that bit better for me. So I'll give him an 8. Okay, but I feel bad. That's a good 8.
You should do.
Fair enough. You give him an 8 out of 10. That's okay. Let's move on to Jacob Murphy for you, Rowley. Excellent in the first half again. Got involved as well, lots of things as well. But the second half, I'm not going to lie, he faded. He didn't get involved as much. He faded a little bit. I'm not going to lie. But at the end of the day, he's on a fantastic run, and he does Jacob Murphy things as well. But first half, excellent. Second half, I thought he faded as well. He didn't do a lot.
I think you're being a bit harsh there.
Oh,
I'm not.
John.
Yeah,
I'm not. I just
think
judged them on. I
you
just
say
judged
didn't
them
do
on.
much in the second half, because in the second half they played a lot more down the left-hand side than they did in the first half. Because the first half, everything was going down the right flank with him and Trippier. In the second half, we're going more down the left-hand side with ASM. His work rate you can't fault. I loved his pressing. I do like the way he presses. It's Miggy-esque. He gets balls in. He tracks back. Yeah, I think you're being harsh on him.
Not really. Look, I think
that's my opinion.
well, man. I know. It's your opinion. We've played well. Go on. It's your opinions.
I think you're being a little harsh on him. He ran himself into the ground, and again, when he got subbed off, it was the right time to take him off because the poor lad was knackered. But I thought he played really well.
Okay, I think he did as well.
Because I can't give everybody a 9, I'm giving him an 8.
I'll give him an 8 as well.
And that's partly because he came off. He didn't score and was substituted off, not because of his play. Because I can't give everybody a 9 because some players were a little bit better than others.
Yeah.
But everyone was really good, so I'll give him an 8, and I think it's a well-deserved 8. Okay, if he'd scored, that takes it up to 9. It's incredibly high scoring tonight because it's such a great performance.
Exactly. Good. Did well. High scores, so which is great. ASM, I'm going to give you that, Carl. Look, first half, he gave down to hell. Let's be real. I mean, he's done a couple of great passes, created 3 big chances in the first half, eventually got an assist as well. And you know what it is? He is back to his best. I mean, ASM now is a big game player. If he plays like that every single week, he'd be okay. Simple as that. But for me, what do you think of him today, Carl?
He'd be more than okay. He's an outstanding player. He runs at you. Nobody wants to play against Max. Nobody. Like he's a problem. And, when you're against him on that wing and he's running at you, there's just nothing you can do, man. He's moving, his skills, he folds you inside out. And now he's finding the right passes and he's doing the right end product decisions. He's a hell of a player and he's a massive threat. I'm going to give him a 9.5 because I thought he was absolutely brilliant. He doesn't deserve a 9. He deserves a 9.5. I didn't want him to come off. I knew he would come off. I tweeted it at the time. I said, please, Eddie, don't bring Maxi off. But I don't know how his fitness levels are. He did run his heart out. And Joe did the job when he came on.
And we got the game on Wednesday as well. So
exactly.
The same with Murphy is probably saving him for keeping a bit of miles in their legs for Wednesday because I expect us to go with an unchanged team.
100%, and he could have had 3 or 4 assists. I think he deserves a 9.5. I think he played outstanding.
Yeah,
he did the winger's job. He did his job. He did a really good job of what he was meant to do, and that is what we want to see every week.
Yeah, I mean, the other thing about him is that he is tracking back more.
As well, yeah.
He's not just tracking back more, but when he gets the ball, he's looking to see where everyone is before he actually starts really attacking the defence. And that's something he didn't used to do. And that's why he's making better passing decisions.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I thought that was a cracking game.
Yeah. Let's go on to Isak. I thought he was really good today. His link-up play is fantastic. He showed some great touches. Brilliant pressing a few efforts as well. He was on look of a header, which De Gea made a great save on the line. But for me, this guy, he's got to be the main man now, Rawley. He looks a top player. He is a player that looks worth 63 mil.
Yeah, absolutely. He is our main striker now. And the guy's only 22 as well. He poses so many problems for defenses. Do you want to try and go close to him? He's got such good ball control. He can shake you. Do you want to give him space? He'll run past you. He's good in the air. He's got good vision. Yeah. He was unlucky not to score. Great save by De Gea. But one of the things that really impresses me is his pressing. Our first goal, you can look back to the press that Isak had on De Gea and who's it on the right, being Darlow, which led to a throw-in, and from that throw-in, we ended up scoring. He doesn't press; they play it out. We don't get the throw-in, we might not score. And I think his press is underestimated. I think he does it a lot better than Wilson.
Yeah.
And I think this guy has he's got everything you want from a striker, and he's only going to get better and better and better. And the 63 million we paid for him is going to look like a snip.
Yeah.
It's just a shame that he missed so much of the season through injury. Because this guy is a monster.
What are you giving him?
That's a 9.
A
9. Okay.
Yeah, if he'd scored, it would have been a 10 and probably man of the match.
Fair enough.
I know what you mean.
Right. We've got to be quick on these next lot as well. We've got to start with Callum Wilson, really goal scorer. Marks out of 10 for him. He scored a goal and, did well. What do you have to do?
Who's that to?
For me?
Yeah, for Cal.
I'll give him a 7. He came on and he did what he was asked to do, was put the ball in the net. He did there's not much to say. Like all the subs, he came on, did a great job, and did what was needed, and was put the game to bed, and that's what he did. I'll give him a 7.
Okay, 7 out of 10 for Wilson. Anthony Gordon, Rawley.
I thought he flashed on what we've actually paid for. I think that run towards the end, where he's on his own, but just slowed down and waited for Isak to come in the middle before putting the ball in. I think if that'd been about 10 minutes early, Isak might have had the legs to get on the end of it. It was a really good ball into the box.
Yeah.
He tackled back, and he's very positive going forward. I'm giving him an 8 purely because it was a cameo role. Okay. If he'd played more, if he'd come on at half time, that might have gone up to a 9.
We're seeing more of him than we did Wilson, didn't we? And he was really good when he was on the ball.
Yeah.
Absolutely. We've gone to Joe Linton. Came on as well, had his header on, saved onto the bar by De Gea. Other than that, put himself a boot, and he did the job.
Pretty much the same as Wilson. Just a quick analysis on him. He came on, did his job, and he matched the level of the energy that we had for the players that came off. Yeah, he was fantastic. It's a shame now that I was hoping to get him on earlier, but when he came on, he did absolutely brilliant. He scored, and as always, he always causes a problem in terms of tackling. Defensively, he's amazing at that, and it was great to have him on and look good as well. So yeah, I'll give him a 7 just because he came on and did what was needed.
Champion. And all it is, right, we've got Elliot Anderson. We can't really rate him. He's only been on for a couple of minutes, so we can't really rate him. So for me, I'll give him. It was good, but it was good. How many would you give him?
Well, I don't think it's on long enough to give a proper rating, but he did look dangerous. I'm gonna, because he's on for so little time, I'm not going to rate him.
Okay.
But he was positive when he was on the ball and looked good. But yeah, how long was it on? About 3 or 4 minutes? I think it's a bit.
Not really that long, really. Like,
it's not really long enough to give him a proper rating.
Do you know what? We give him a 6. Give him a 6 out of 10. Give him a 6 out of 10. We won the game, so
I'm not going to rate him because he wasn't on long enough.
Okay, that's fine. Over to comments as well. We've gone to Eddie. Gordon looks good in cameo raw, but he came on. I think he should rotate with Murphy on Wednesday. He will be a big player in a couple of weeks for us. It can make a difference. Chris, please hit the subscribe button, mate, if you can, mate. Thank you very much indeed. And Lee saying, 10s. 10 past high complained of time wasting, but the hair time wastes so much. Murphy worked hard, lacks intelligence on the pitch. He gets a 7. Thanks to Leslie and Carl. Great to focus on Newcastle positives, and what a lot of positives they are. Thank you, Leslie. Thank you so much. There's Neil Seach at Goodison Park as well. And you go straight to Eddie Howe. Carl, Eddie Howe.
10. Absolutely fantastic. That's what I wanted to see. I wanted to see more of him on the sideline, show more hunger, like more, I can't think of the word quickly, but he was just he had the same energy as the players on the pitch, and it was the ambition. Everything about him was brilliant. I love what he's doing to the team, the decisions he made with the lineup, the substitutions when they were brought on. I think he's absolutely brilliant in terms of everything he does, and the talk at the end was just, oh, it's beautiful. And you know, I loved everything he said about, you know, keeping that energy for Wednesday. Yeah, he's a 10 out of 10 for me. Putting the finger in Ten Hag's face was always going to be a 10 for that.
Absolutely. Last finally play on the we're not going to say about the referee that much. Go straight to the fans today, Rory. Fans.
Yeah, 10.
Yeah, cool.
They were
Let's
really
go on
good.
to
Loved the war flags display, though they didn't show the flag completely unfurled on the TV. But
go on just quickly, John. I know you want to get off. Gary Neville today. I heard Gary Neville say about the atmosphere. He says it's the best he's heard all season. You know, that's how good it must have been in that stadium. You know, Gary Neville says he's at every game, isn't he? Every match commentating. He says he's never had heard an atmosphere like yesterday. So yeah, definitely a 10 for the fans.
That's amazing. Fantastic. 10 out of 10 fans. Right, so we've done all the review, we've done all the player ratings. I think we're going to wrap up there, guys, because I think you've done a long while sort of thing, and on 35 minutes. And thanks for coming on. We start you, Carl. Where can you find you on the socials, mate?
Just Twitter at KPovey NUFC.
Champion stuff. And Rolly, where can you find you, mate?
I'm on Twitter at Pole67.
Cool. Are you doing a show tomorrow, Rolly, or?
I don't know at the moment. I don't know.
You'll have to follow him to find out.
Yes. Follow him to find out as well. And, you know, just let us know, because I'm doing a match preview tomorrow for the West Ham game. And if you guys are available, that'd be amazing. If not, no stress at all. I've got an invite as well. I've got on the West Ham channel as well, which is great. So keep your eyes peeled for that. And my mum was shouting, John, need you, blah, blah, blah. But look, at the end of the day, if you look at the socials as well, if you want to, also know me, links are, you can find us on Twitch, Facebook, YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram, and on Twitter as well. And go through a few more comments. Thanks, Leslie. Thank you, Ches. So thanks to you guys, and thank you for listening, Jules, as well. And look, I'll be back tomorrow, and the watch-on's on Wednesday. I don't know if I'll be doing the watch-on, to be fair, but look, end of the day, just keep your eyes peeled for that, guys. And until then, thank you so much for watching, and have a fantastic evening. And watch what you're doing, and take care of you.